what he's doing is, I mean, kind of cool. If he can continue to steal money and they match him the way they match him, I can't.
Floyd Mayweather never misses any opportunity to make smart investments, even if it involves coming out of retirement to fight exhibition matches. And after the mouth-watering purse that the Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul fight made, Floyd Mayweather has called out Jake Paul to fight him next in an exhibition fight next year, with the hope of making as much money as the Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson fight. Well, it's likely he changed his mind after receiving some strong warnings from Iron Mike Tyson.
Time. You've had a chance to assess Jake Paul. What do you think of his boxing ability?
I think he's came a long way from YouTubing.
Remember, Floyd Mayweather fought Jake Paul's brother, Logan Paul, 3 years ago, and he plans to even make a bigger fight with Jake Paul 4 years after the fight in Florida. However, he now has a stumbling block. The first obstacle is the fact that it remains highly unlikely that Jake Paul will be able to attract such a crowd in his influencer boxing career ever again, as the fight on November 15th left many fans very disappointed.
You do not play boxing. And there, Paul now. Not a lot of technique behind these punches, and Floyd Mayweather shelling it up, of course, the fans.
Also, it was very clear, even from the press conferences, that the real attraction to the fight was Iron Mike Tyson, whose previous exhibition match as Roy Jones Jr. was so successful that it was ranked in the top 10 of the highest pay-per-view numbers of all time. Hence, Floyd Mayweather will be greatly mistaken if he thinks Jake Paul is the answer to making his pay-per-view numbers in exhibition fights. Also, Mike Tyson's comments about Jake Paul's boxing skills is another reason why Floyd Mayweather may look elsewhere, as Jake Paul, who weighed almost 230 pounds when he weighed in for his fight against Mike Tyson, won't be only weightier than Floyd Mayweather if they fight, but he'll also have a better boxing resume than many of Floyd Mayweather's exhibition opponents like Deji Olatunji, Logan Paul, John Gotti, and a few others. If Jake was dangerous for a Mike Tyson who weighed slightly more than him on fight night, then he'll be acrimonious to Floyd Mayweather, who isn't only smaller and shorter, but would also have a lighter punching power than the problem child.
And listen, I seen a YouTube of him at 16 doing weird dances. That's not the guy I'm going to be fighting. This guy's going to come, he's going to try to hurt me, which I'm accustomed to.
Floyd Mayweather first expressed his interest in taking on Jake Paul before the fight. During an appearance on the It Is What It Is podcast, Mayweather had plenty of praise for Paul for agreeing to fight Tyson, but not for the reason many might expect. What he's doing is kind of cool. If he can continue to steal money, and they match him the way they match him, I can't knock his hustle, Mayweather said. The comments are appropriate for Money Mayweather, seeing as he ushered in a new era of boxing and promotion, after agreeing to fight UFC star Conor McGregor in 2017. Mayweather said that the realities of this digital age mean that boxers have to do more marketing themselves on TikTok and YouTube, as well as agreeing to fights that some would consider outlandish, as is the case between 27-year-old Paul and 57-year-old Tyson.
Can't knock his hustle. So if they can match him the way how they've been matching him, more power to him.
Champ, we appreciate your time.
Yeah. The promoter is dying. It's now the responsibility of the fighter to promote himself. That's the new boxing world, Mayweather said. Just hustle, man. Just hustle. The respect Mayweather has for Paul does not seem grudging. It comes off as genuine admiration and respect for what he's trying to do. And at the end of the day, money is money for many no matter how they've earned it. Speaking on Jake Paul's abilities, Mike Tyson has always advised the boxing world not to underestimate him as a YouTuber, but should perceive him as a legitimate boxer, who didn't only do well against a fighter like Tommy Fury, but went ahead to knock him down before narrowly losing to Tommy Fury by decision.
How much pressure, if any at all, do you feel to win this fight, even though you're twice his age and you haven't been in the ring in an official sanctioned bout since 2005? How are you feeling pressure-wise about...
This same advice about Jake Paul's abilities is what Mike Tyson tells Mayweather. I knew he was a good fighter. I knew he was prepared, but I just wanted to fight. He's a very good fighter. He absolutely deserves more respect from the public. He's a dangerous fighter. In fact, in his first post after the fight, one of the main things he spoke about was the legitimacy of Jake Paul's boxing skills and how he was a worthy opponent for any fighter of any age. Despite losing his boxing match to Jake Paul, Mike Tyson, in a social media post Saturday, said he had no regrets about getting in the ring one last time.
Mike, back to you. Now that you've actually gone 8 rounds with Jake Paul, what is your assessment of Jake Paul, the boxer?
He's a very good fighter.
Do you think he deserves respect from the public?
Absolutely.
The boxing legend was defeated by social media star Jake Paul in a highly anticipated fight on Friday night with an age difference of over 3 decades between the two contenders. Netflix said Saturday that 60 million households worldwide tuned in to watch the match. The two fighters went 8 full rounds, with each round 2 minutes long. Paul defeated Tyson by unanimous decision, and the 27-year-old upset boxer and 58-year-old former heavyweight champion hugged afterward. Paul was expected to earn about $40 million from the fight, and Tyson was expected to take around $20 million for the fight, according to DraftKings and other online reports. Tyson said on his social media that, "This is one of those situations when you lost but still won. I'm grateful for last night." The fight almost didn't happen after Tyson experienced an ulcer flare-up while on a plane in March. He addressed his illness Saturday, writing that he almost died in June. He said he had 8 blood transfusions and lost half my blood and 25 pounds in hospital and had to fight to get healthy to fight, so I won. Tyson retired from boxing in 2005 after a 20-year career. He last fought in a 2020 exhibition match against former 4-division world champ Roy Jones Jr. To have my children see me stand toe-to-toe and finish 8 rounds with a talented fighter half my age in front of a packed Dallas Cowboy Stadium is an experience that no man has the right to ask for. Thank you, he said.
Well, it's the family's everything. But my kids, to my children, I'm nobody. But that night they're gonna find out their father's very special.
In another interview, Mike Tyson was seen claiming he would never risk his health for money. Though he initially appeared to underestimate Paul, he gave a caveat in advance for those who saw him as a mere YouTuber and acknowledged Jake Paul's boxing skills. Tyson shared a moment to praise Jake for his journey from comedy influencer to professional boxer. He's come a long way from YouTubing. Listen, I've seen a YouTube video of him at 16 doing weird dances. That's not the guy I'm gonna be fighting.
Not true at all. Not true. Not true. No true. Listen, this is called an exhibition. But if you look up exhibition, you will not see any of the laws that we're fighting under.
This guy's gonna come, he's gonna try and hurt me, which I'm accustomed to, and he's gonna be greatly mistaken. Despite the rumors of 18 ounces gloves and headgear, Mike Tyson has insisted that this will be treated as a real fight. The rumors are not true. Listen, this is called an exhibition, but if you look up exhibition, you will not see any of the laws that we're fighting under. This is a fight. At almost 58 years old, the legendary boxer explained why he is returning to the ring and is welcoming the challenge against Jake Paul. Whatever I'm afraid to do, I do it. And that's how it is. I was afraid of Roy Jones Jr. fight. I was scared to fight again. I was 100 pounds overweight. I was, however, old, 54 or 53, and I said, let's do it.
You know, Sean, I have a weird personality. I don't think it's weird, though. Whatever I'm afraid to do, I do it. And that's how it is. I was afraid for the Roy fight. I was scared to fight again. I was 100 pounds overweight. I was, however old, 54, 53, and I said, let's do it. Anything I'm afraid of, I confront it.
Anything I'm afraid of, I confront it, and that's my personality. Like right now, I'm scared to death. But as the fight gets closer, the less nervous I become because it's reality, and in reality, I'm invincible. I always believed that adversity or nervousness, it pretty much catapulted me into success. If I didn't have these feelings, I wouldn't go into this fight. I have to have these feelings to fight. Without them, I would never go in the ring. Though he seemed the most riled up, as he has been in years with nothing but a vicious display on his mind, Mike Tyson has no hard feelings when it comes to Jake Paul. I will do just that. I will teach him a lesson, but dislike him? No, I don't. I do not have any grudges against him. He's beautiful. And no, it's not from that perspective. This is from my point of view of grabbing glory, you know? Never for money, only glory. I would never risk my health for money.
And that's my personality. Like right now, I'm scared to death. But as the fight gets closer, the less nervous I become because it's reality. And in reality, I'm invincible.
Despite Mike Tyson having high praises for Jake Paul and sending warnings to his next opponent, the much-anticipated fight between Mike Tyson and Jake Paul turned out to be a humiliating exhibition by the 58-year-old boxing legend. After 8 rounds, Jake Paul was declared the winner by unanimous decision, with a wide margin on the judges' scorecards. The loss to Jake Paul marked the 7th defeat in Mike Tyson's career. Jake Paul, a 27-year-old social media huckster, beat a 58-year-old man with a long history of health problems, both physical and mental, in a boxing ring late on Friday night.
Paul landed throwing a jab hook right hand, followed by a hook. The last hook was cool. Wasn't a real power shot.
Does he have?
The fact that Mike Tyson was defeated so comprehensively on points was meant to give Paul a semblance of authenticity in the unforgiving business of boxing. But it didn't mean much in the end. Tyson is the former world champion who, in the mid to late 1980s, spread awe and terror as he tore through the heavyweight ranks. But in the dog days of 2024, Tyson was trying to overcome years of abuse after far too many drugs and far too much drinking, as well as recent troubling issues with a bleeding stomach ulcer and acute sciatica. Paul received the unanimous verdict by 2 scores of 79, 73, and a shutout 80, 72.
The one knockout left in his arsenal.
Winner by unanimous decision, Jake Gallo.
The near sold-out crowd at the Atant Stadium in Arlington, Texas was fiercely partisan in their early support of Tyson. 90 minutes before the ring walks, footage of Paul's arrival was greeted with a muted hum. But we then saw Tyson walking slowly to his locker room. His jacket was emblazoned with his famous old boxing alias, Iron Mike. The huge and sustained roar was strangely moving. Jake Paul and his brother Logan were driven to the ring in a customized Chevy lowrider instead of making the traditional fighter's walk to a stale old Phil Collins track. Tyson made a somber, brooding trudge, wearing a stark black top in a deliberate attempt to echo the menace which once defined him. It was the high point of a long night for the once formidable Tyson. He looked weathered and aged as he was introduced in the middle of the ring. Tyson came out with a modicum of intent, and he soon caught the retreating Paul with a clipping left and a glancing right. He ducked under a few swinging punches, but Tyson was then tagged by a much sharper right to the head. It was already plain that any vague hope of Tyson being able to summon his once trademark ferocity belonged to a forlorn fantasy. The 2-minute round ended with Tyson wearing a brace on his dodgy knee, trying slowly and unsuccessfully to close the distance between him and a cheerfully backpedaling Paul.
Mike Tyson wanting to see more action. He just landed the first round. He's Jake Paul 12 of 53, 23%. Tyson coming out aggressively.
They keep messing with that mouthpiece.
The second round was dulled by pedestrian exchanges, with Tyson looking bereft of ideas and energy, while Paul landed a few decent punches. But the former world champion was soon in trouble when he was rocked to the soles of his black boots by a stream of left hands. Decades ago, Tyson would have been far too fast and elusive for such a telegraphed series of blows. He would have slipped under them and then punished and dropped a boxing novice for his audacity. But Tyson's speed and ring savvy is long gone, and he took his shots with bleak stoicism. Paul cruised through the remaining rounds, winning them with little obvious effort. Amid boos from the crowd at Atant Stadium, Tyson and Paul answered post-fight questions, with Tyson's response surprising many, especially when asked if this would be his last fight.
Oh, left hook! spectacle all referees do, but Mike Tyson taking...
Paul looked down and come over with the overhand right. You better believe it.
And there is, it's, you know what?
For the media and the audience present, Mike Tyson's performance was disappointing during the fight. The main criticism was the low number of punches he threw, with some analysts even commenting that by the end of the bout, they could count on their hands the number of times they saw him land a punch. Despite the humiliation, Tyson was asked in the post-fight interview why he thought it wasn't his best night, to which Tyson replied, "I have a biting fixation." The audience laughed at his response and took it with irony. But what surprised many was when he was asked if this had been the last time they would see him in the ring, and he answered that he still believed he could fight a few more times.
Is this possibly the last time for you?
I don't think so.
You've got more in you. Who comes to mind?
Well, I don't know. Maybe his brother.
Iron Mike even hinted at who he would like to face next. Not the last one, maybe his brother next. This was in reference to the possibility of fighting Logan Paul. Paul, with a surprised expression, quickly responded, "Mike, I'll kill you," causing laughter in the stands. After seeing Tyson's performance against Jake Paul, it seems Logan could easily beat him. At 58 years old, it became clear that it might be time for Mike Tyson to pursue a different career.
You want to fight Logan? Logan, I think he said you might be next. Motherfucker, I'll kill you, Mike. No, please, no.
It's on there.
Or if he insists on returning to the ring, it should be against an opponent of his own age and weight. As for Mayweather, his most recent exhibition showed he's still got it in him as well. Boxing great Floyd Mayweather Jr. rematched John Gotti III in an exhibition in August in Mexico City. The rematch between Floyd Mayweather Jr. and John Gotti III included no brawl, just more Mayweather domination and boos. The crowd voiced its displeasure after the 8-round exhibition in Mexico City. There were no knockdowns, no glassy-eyed looks, no staggering. Because the fight was an exhibition, it was not officially scored. But Mayweather, 47, dominated Gotti, 31, the grandson of late crime boss John Gotti. Mayweather was able to hit Gotti with relative ease and connected plenty, but he never rocked his opponent. The fight played out exactly as many expected, and as the first meeting did, with the boxing great simply being a better fighter. Thankfully, the fight did not end in a brawl, as was the case in their June 2023 meeting. Despite Mayweather clearly dominating the action, no winner was announced due to the fight being an exhibition. Mayweather was cautious to not give Gotti opportunities to do effective work, instead leaning heavily on his jab, followed by straight right hands to control the action. As the rounds ticked by, Gotti was visibly frustrated by Mayweather's standard economic and effective approach to the sweet science. Given the fight was an exhibition, featuring 8 two-minute rounds, there was not likely to be any notable result. This has been a standard approach to exhibition fights since the beginning of the COVID-19 pandemic, with Mayweather only truly bringing his best game in bouts with Japanese kickboxers in fights that would have a result announced at the end. Like his exhibition fights with the likes of Logan Paul, Mayweather was content to carry the fight through the scheduled time for the bout, while clearly being the better of the two men in the ring. At the conclusion of the 8th round, there was no winner announced. Mayweather and Gotti embraced after the fight, a stark contrast to the brawl that followed their first bout. Throughout his storied professional career, Mayweather had many notable bouts with Mexican superstars. Having held an exhibition on hostile soil, Mayweather was thankful to the crowd. Mexico City, Mayweather said, "Thanks for coming out. Gotti is tough as nails." Mayweather said after the fight, Mayweather praised Julio Cesar Chavez Sr., who was there as part of the broadcast team, then said, "Mexico City, I love you guys. Thanks for coming out." The fans cheered. The first fight between Mayweather and Gotti in June 2023 ended in a brawl after the referee stopped the fight in the 6th round because of excessive trash talk and holding. Gotti maneuvered around the referee and threw punches at Mayweather, and members of the fighters' camps flooded into the ring as a melee broke out. There were moments of tension also. Gotti grew agitated when the rounds, which were supposed to be 2 minutes, ran long. And Mayweather looked angry when the referee warned him about punches to the back of Gotti's head. In fact, a new referee entered the ring. And that's all for now. For the very best updates on news, moments, events, and actions in the world of boxing, stay connected with us by subscribing to our YouTube channel, and don't forget to turn on notifications to get notified when we drop quality contents like this. Until next time, peace out.